Howdy, sports fans. Judge 99 Sports Cards is here, and I'm a little late to the party starting this video, but I'm going to start it because I decided I can't not video this just in case. I already didn't videotape a big pull I had this week, so I'm not going to let that happen again. I bought today off of Facebook Marketplace a box of 1989 NBA hoops. 35 packs. One was opened to, I guess, prove that they hadn't been tampered with or whatever. It was also part of a lot that had 6 packs of 89 tops. It's 5. One of those was opened as well. Actually, cards are in pretty good shape, and I've opened 2 packs so far of the NBA hoops, and I've already pulled my first Jordan, so I'm hoping for more. Yes, it's a little off center, but I will say that these cards are very, very sharp. So I'm going to submit them to PSA because even a 9 on that card I think is worth having. The centering again is going to probably take it out of the realm of a 10. Thinking about the Larry Bird, I'll check values on that. We're also looking for David Robinson rookies, right? So a lot of stuff in here that could be good. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can pull. Pierce, Larry Nance, John Sumbolt, Tarpoy Smith, Paxton McCormick, NBA All-Star Karl Malone. Pull that one aside. Mike Sanders, and then Wayne Rollins. Don't know why it's upside down. All right. So one pack was already opened when I got it. That one, might as well pull these over here, had a Patrick Ewing, had a Moses Malone, had an Isaiah Thomas that looks pretty well centered, so I'm going to check that, and then had a Magic All-Star, a little off center, but it's a fun box to rip. The packs do $6 or $7. I could make money trying to sell packs, but heck, I think it's more fun pulling, seeing how many Jordans you can pull. Lechner, Higgins, English, David Rivers, Humphreys, Hershey Hawkins, Kevin Johnson, Horace Grant, Perkins. All right. Would really like the David Robinson too. What numbers? Are these all low numbers? No, it's up to 3. No, it's 261. This is like Series 1. Let me make sure what David Robinson even is. Jordan is 200. There's an All-Star 2. I thought I could get this one. Let's see what David Robinson. He's 138. Yeah, so he is definitely in these packs because all the numbers seem to be under 300. So I'm believing this is Series 1. Sometimes it's hard to tell on some of these older products. Ralph with the Warriors. Wow. All right. Another one down without any note. A lot of packs left, though. This is the first group of 9. So the first quarter of the box, I've got 2 packs left. On the first quarter of the box, pulled 1 Jordan. No David Robinson yet. There's a Rodman of the Pistons. Centering on that one looks pretty good, too. Look at that. Am I missing something there? I think that centering on this card here is really good. Try to see if I can hold it better. Yeah, the side to side is really good. It might be a sliver low. That's really good. I gotta check what a PSA 10 on a Rodman is. See if there's any reason to submit that. NBA All-Star Game, Larry Nance, Turner, Thompson, All-Star Game, Dale Ellis. All right. True fact, yours truly was actually at the 89 All-Star Game. It's, as you can see on the card, it was in Houston that year. At the time, I was a Rocket season ticket holder. He got opportunity to get tickets to an NBA All-Star Game, All-Star Weekend, as a matter of fact, dunk contest, all that stuff. They had it at the Astrodome, which really not a great place to watch basketball compared to where the Rockets played at the time, which was the Summit. But yeah, I was actually at that game. John Battle, Kevin McHale, Corzine, Cooper, Eaton, Karl Malone on the base card. It's definitely OC. Jerry Sloan, Bonite, McLeod, Flo, Brewer, Elo, Mark Jackson, wrong year. No Menendez brothers, Mark Jackson, Bill Cartwright. All right, so that's the first quarter of the box down. We got one Jordan. I got a very nicely centered Rodman and a Larry Bird, as well as one of these Magic All-Star Isaiah, Karl Malone, and Patrick Ewing All-Star. So let's go to the next 9 packs that we'll pull out here and see what we got. You know, selling them at $7 a pack times 30 could have maybe made some money on these things, but I don't know. It's fun. Johnson. Come on, Jordan. Robinson. Never Nervous Purvis. Kevin Gamble. Saul Thompson. Glenn Rivers. Adele 3. Lambeer. Don Nelson. All right. Nothing in that one. I'd like to have a centered Jordan. Boy, if I could have, if my Jordan was centered like that Rodman. Of course, not that PSA wouldn't figure out a way not to give me a 10 no matter what it looked like, but I've been submitting a lot of Jordans lately to the PSA and some to SGC and waiting on a bunch now, but I swear that there's a curve on when they grade Jordans, and the curve is not in the favor of the graded player. Bill Fitch on the Nets, one-time Rocket coach. Why is that turned around? I don't know. Jim Dick Versailles, Kevin Willis, Edwards, Vernon Maxwell when he was on the Spurs, Bill Curry, Robert Reed, Anderson, another Moses Malone All-Star, Terry Catledge, A.C. Green, another Isaiah Thomas. This one, the All-Star, but that one looks pretty well centered too. Take a look at that one. These cards are definitely crispy enough to submit. I mean, these cards are all going to be, probably 7s and above. The question is, there's obviously a big difference between getting a 7 and an 8 or a 9 or a 10. So you kind of see values there and see what you think on. The biggest issue is always the centering. Come on, can we pull a rookie David Robinson? No, but we can pull a Dominique. Well-centered card, too. Mark Akers, Rodney McRae, a Barkley All-Star. Grant, Chris Moen, Hansick, Musselman, Bickerstaff, Wilkins. This card's actually good. If I can get a centered Robinson or a centered Jordan, I have a shot at getting them. But if, what's the old saying? If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we don't have a Merry Christmas. All right. Turned around again on the first card. That's weird. Scott Hastings. Doherty. Dominique. Barry, Gary, Upshaw, Mike Williams, John Williams, Backman, Bogus, Patrick Ewing, Brad Doherty, All-Star, Jerry Reynolds, All-Star, Magic. Here we go. Definitely off-center on the Magic, though. Look at that, of course. And then Chris Moen, All-Star. Magic's another one. The card would not be super valuable. It's not Plosky's rookie or anything, but anytime you can have a Magic that can gem, you gotta consider it. All right, about halfway through the second quarter of the box. Cycling Fitzsimmons. There we go, Michael Jordan, and look at this. What is this? This is a better centered one, guys. This is a really good centered one the more that I look at it. Wow. Let's get this in not only a sleeve right now, but let's get this one into a PSA sleeve. I send all my cards to PSA in these little holders that have these tabs on it. Makes it easy to pull it out of the semi-rigid without damaging the card. And I'm just going to move it there so I can do it simply without messing with it. But that is really sweet, guys. This one, look at this one. That's pretty well centered. I don't know what you think. Tell me what you think on the centering, because I can tell you right now the corners are razor sharp. The surface looked immaculate. So we got one in a shot. If I can get a Robinson like that, I have something here. Maybe I can pull another one. I still have over half the box left. Some people say, well, you could stop now and sell the rest in packs. Yeah. David Robinson, where are you? The Admiral. I'm looking for the Admiral now. Because, actually when I bought this box, I saw it on Facebook Marketplace, this lot with this box and the 89 tops. When I saw it, I didn't even think about David Robinson. Rookie cards. I don't have one. It's, again, not super valuable raw, but if you can gem it, it is. First card seems to be turned. That's weird. John Concac. There's also Magic Michael Jordan All-Star. I could get one of those, too. Be okay with that. Rodman. Pretty well centered Rodman. Might be a little low. Chuck Daly. Frank Johnson. Okay, Kenny Walker. Larry Nance, All-Star. Jeff Turner. Michael Thompson. Dale Ellis, All-Star. Okay. I'm already pumped because I already got what I was looking for. Was a Michael Jordan card that could gem. Now again, I know PSA will find a way to give it something other than a 10. I've submitted Jordans that looked to me like this and came back an 8. Let me show you one, if I can put my hands on it real quick here. I submitted this card. It's not an expensive Jordan card. Submitted this card because I thought it was really sharp. It just was well centered. It was crispy, new like this USA Basketball 91 hoops. So this is a 2 sets after the one I'm opening. And let's see, it comes back an 8. So I don't know what's wrong with that card, folks, because I've looked at it under a loop, and it does not have any scratches or anything or dimples on the surface. I know how to look at cards. I've graded over 200 cards in the last couple of years, so I know what they're going to knock you for. and I have gotten better at it. I don't always get everything. I know just one human's opinion is what it is, but I have no idea how that card got an 8. I mean, if you find something wrong with it, to knock it down to an 8, to me, I don't know. Here's my guy, Dream. Big fan of Elijah Wan. As you can see, sorry about the glare there, but I had that made from a towel that was given out at the summit when Dream got the MVP. The first, I believe it was the first, no, that was the championship year. It was sometime during the year. I was at the game. They gave us that towel, and I had an opportunity to get Dream to sign it and got it all framed up like that. Here's Reggie Miller, another one of the superstars in this set, worth taking out anyway and taking a look at. Possibly at least putting nothing else, put in a dollar box at some point. Alvin Robinson, we got 2 All-Star cards. Duckworth, Jordan. Oh, Clyde the Glide. That's a well-centered one. Some of these are coming out pretty well-centered. And I have to go check the values on them. And again, these are crispy enough that if the centering is not a problem, that they could actually rate a gem. Whether PSI says it, not, and it's so or not, that's a different question. Brad Lowhouse, they put down the expansion team, Timberwolves. Fred Roberts, Barkley, I got another Barkley down there. It's not centered. Can we get a David Robinson? I'm about due for that. Not that I'm complaining about two Michael Jordans. I'd rather have the Jordan than another. I'd rather have another Jordan than a Robinson, but I just think we're due for that, aren't we? On a box like this, if it's only Series 1, so there's 300 cards, let's do the math. These are numbered up to 300, right? Oh, no, 350? So I see a 350 here. So numbered up to 350 maybe. You're opening 36 packs with 15 cards. That's, do the math, 36 is 360, 180, 460, 540 cards. So if the whole set you're pulling from is 350 and you get 540 cards, you should get almost 2 of everything. And I've already gotten 2 of some guys, and haven't opened up half the box. Actually, this is the last pack of the first half of the box. Michael Holton. I saw Michael and I said, not another one. Mark Jackson again. Matty Gukas. Mark McNamara. Tom Chambers again. I've had that card though. Barry Mitch Richmond had that one. It's been my experience too, opening a lot of wax, especially 80s and 90s wax. You don't get almost 2 of everyone, even if you're supposed to. You get 4 of some guys and 1 or none of other guys. So you can get a lucky box here and pull 4 of one guy. I've done it before. The question is it the right guy? Is it Reggie Theus or Michael Jordan? All right, first pack of the second half of the box. Another Mark Jackson. I've already pulled 3 of these. Gukas, these all look the same. Chambers, we just had the last pack just had almost the same cards. Mitch Richmond, Lane, all these guys. Last 2, I don't think so, and that's what happens. So sometimes you just happen to get hammered with the same guys. Bad glare. So guys, it's really, that might be a little better. I'm not good at the technical aspect of this game. Apologize for that. Sam Bowie. Another Reggie Miller. Remember Sam Bowie drafted ahead of Michael Jordan. A little off to me. Doug Moe, Sally Pat Riley, Alvin Robinson, Duckworth, Drexler All-Star again. That looks like a well-centered one, though. Xavier McDaniel, Brad Davis, Terry Cummings, Scott Skiles, James Worthy, Akeem Olajuwon. I wouldn't mind gemming Olajuwon. That looks like a well-centered one, too. I just had Dream sign some stuff for me. In addition to that towel, I had him sign some cards for me. He was my guy. I think most underrated, not only center of all time, but one of the most underrated players of all time. Most of the experts, so-called, do consider him top 5 if you really took a real expert. In my mind, he's the best center of all time just because he could do more than all of them. I mean, he could play defense better than Jabbar. He could play offense better than Russell. He could run the court better than Chamberlain, and had better offensive moves than Chamberlain, even though Chamberlain was a great scorer, one of the best ever for sure. I put Olajuwon is a better two-way player than Chamberlain, because the other thing is the competition at the time Chamberlain was playing was not the same. So I just don't understand why he's not talked about as one of the all-time great centers, even though he wasn't the all-time great scorer like Jabbar. But again, he led the league, or was in the top, not led the league, but he was in the top in 5 or 6 categories every year. He was in the top in blocks, assists, steals. I mean, for a center to be among the league leader in steals is unbelievable. So for my money, he's one of the best ever. Some people disagree, but I watched him as a season ticket holder up close and personal for his whole career, most of his home games anyway. And he was great. I'm just telling you, he carried the team on his back, night in, night out. All right. I'm off my soapbox on Hakeem Olajuwon, greatest NBA center. I will say I watched recently a special where they interviewed Michael Jordan, and the question to Jordan was, if you could pick 4 guys to be on a team with you to be the best team in the world, who would you pick at each position? And his center was Akeem Olajuwon. So if Michael Jordan says that, who am I to argue with it? He could have picked Wilt in his prime. It was like, if you could pick any guy that's ever played in the NBA. Now, he picked guys that played with him. So, I mean, I think there was probably some person. He picked Magic, and he did not pick Bird. He picked Olajuwon, Magic, James Worthy somehow. And who did he pick? Who was the other guy he picked? I'm forgetting. My mind is blanking out. Here's a Karl Malone All-Star that looks in pretty good shape. I forget who he picked. There's only 4 guys. It would only be 4 guys, right? Him and Magic in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Worthy, and he didn't. I don't remember who he picked as the 4th guy. Jeff Malone. So no David Robinson yet. Still hunting that. Getting down to about a dozen, 14 packs. Where's the Admiral? Ronnie Cycli. Some of these are weird. Robert Reed, former Rocket 2. Another Moses. See, how many Moses Malones have I pulled out? A bunch. AJ Green, Isaiah on the All-Star. Getting tired of pulling cards out. That's a good thing. David Rivers, Jay Humphries. Another Michael Jordan. And a well-centered Michael Jordan. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's clean, folks. It's really clean. I don't know what else I need to do to gem a Jordan. But tell me that that's not centered. It might be as well centered as the other one, or better. We're going right into the PSA penny sleeve. See, my theory is if you put these little tabs on them and you put them in your semi-rigid on that, the way you have to submit to PSA, the grader's going to appreciate that. The guy that has to take it out and look at it is going to appreciate that you put that little pull tab on there. Makes his job that much easier. You got a stack of 20 cards for him to grade. And you side to side, it's perfect. I mean, the top to bottom, I mean, it's got to be within tolerance. Now on this one, I think the side to side is also perfect. And the top to bottom is about the same as this one, right? They're about the same. Actually, this one looks a little better. So, I don't know. 3 Jordans. 3 Jordans. No David Robinson yet. I still got 12 or 13 packs. Come on, Admiral. Join this party. I see a lot of the same cards. It's just the way these boxes tend to run. I'm telling you, I've done the same thing with, other 80s wax, junk wax, or early 90s junk wax stuff. And it's my same experience that you tend to get a lot of the same players. And so even though you get more cards than the whole set or the whole first series here, you don't complete the series because you get multiples of some guys. I've had Jerry Sloan. Don't remember from Roy Benjamin. Look how many of these Carmelones I've gotten. I've gotten more Carmelones than Jordans. I haven't gotten a single Michael Jordan All-Star. I've gotten 3 of his regular cards, which is better. Worthy. Ken Norman, Reggie Williams. Greg Anderson. Another Moses Malone. Not centered. Another Isaiah. Not centered. Clyde the Glide. It's the first one of those, and that one actually looks pretty decent on the centering. Can we see a David Robinson? Seen a couple players in that pack that I hadn't seen, but I don't think I've gotten an Allen level before. That Clyde, it might be a little low. All right, so now we're down to the last pack of the 3/4 mark. So 9 packs to go after this. This is 10 packs to go. I've already pulled 3 Jordans out of this box. I'd say I got my money's worth already. Expansion draft choice. I don't get that. Pippen. Pretty well centered. There we go. Here's the Admiral. It's not centered, but We got one. David Robinson rookie card. All right. Let's get two. Let's get two of those because that one's definitely not centered. And it's one of those cards that you have to get centered. Even almost more so than the Jordan. I think a 9 might be acceptable on the Jordan, but a 9 on the Robinson I think is not worth the price of grading. It's that bad. Why is he so disrespected? I don't know. Got 9 packs left. Let's open them. I was thinking for a minute, do I want to open these? Maybe I could sell these, get all my money back, and still have the 3 Jordans and the 1 Robinson. Nah, let's do it. The heck. Let's go for it. Open the whole box. Be a whip. Xavier McDaniels, Brad Davis, Terry Cummins All-Star, Scott Stiles, James Worthy, Akeem Olajuwon. Not a centered one. I don't know. It's not bad. A lot, I'll tell you what. The centering is off on some of these, but it's not as bad as I've seen some of these products. Not anywhere near as bad as some of the products I've seen. All right. Just pulling the stars out here. Obviously, the ones that I've noticed that are particularly well centered. A lot of great players during this era. I was fortunate enough to have season tickets, like I told you earlier, from 87-ish to 97-ish. And then I moved out away from where the Rockets played and didn't really want, and they moved their place downtown, didn't really want to commute there. I had a really convenient commute to the Summit from where I was living at the time. Here's another Reggie Miller. Decent centering. Kevin Duckworth, Clyde the Glide. That's pretty good center. All-Star. Again, haven't hit a Jordan All-Star yet. Another Akeem Olajuwon. I'm telling you, that's about 4 of those that I've hit Olajuwon All-Star. I'm not sure I hit his base card yet. Well, let's see how many Olajuwons. 2. There's a regular Olajuwon in there too. So that's 2 right there. And then I think I've got a couple more here. There's 1 right there. That's 3. Okay, I was wrong. I got 3 of those and 3 of the Carmelones, 3 of the Jordans. Still would think the odds were, if I'd take a 4th one of those, or a centered All-Star, or a centered David Robinson. That was a big nothing, it looks like. Not of there. I didn't keep these packs in order in the box, so there's no order that the packs are being opened in because I wanted to count the packs because I'm buying something on Facebook Marketplace. So I did pull them all out and count them before I started opening anything. And so they were just put back randomly. I don't think Dominique's worth anything, but decent centering. All right, down to our last 5 packs. 5 packs left. Sorry this video has dragged on so long. It's hard. It takes time to open wax. And I even started the first few packs before I put the video on. I pulled my first Jordan off video. Pulled two while on video, though. Here we go. Michael Jordan All-Star. It's definitely off-center. Definitely off-center. It's still worth having. Alex English. So 4 Jordans. 4 Jordans and a David Robinson rookie card. Maybe we can pull another one. A lot of the guys, I've seen all these guys before. Just pulled this. I mean, that was almost identical to some of the packs I've opened. 3 packs left. I don't think that All-Star card is a gradable card. I'm not sure the first one is now that I have 2 good-looking ones. I may just submit the 2 good-looking ones and leave the other ones alone. To look at the 9 value. Well-centered Scottie Pippen. And here's another Admiral, and again, it's not centered. 2 David Robinsons, both off. And you don't get 2 wrongs, don't make a right there. All right, 2 more packs. But, you know, I got to be happy about the pull here. 4 Jordan cards and 2 Robinson rookies. You know, and I spent $100 on this lot. It's a total shot in the dark. But really a fun rip. Cal Eaton. Another Karl Malone base. Okay. Last pack before we wrap up this video. It's been great. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have stuck with me, please like and subscribe on my channel. Still working through content issues, where I'm going from that. Also on eBay at Judge 99 Sports Cards. Top rated seller there. I've sold over 300 items flawlessly, so check out my stuff there. And let's see what we got in this last pack. A Worthy, a Northern, a Reddy Williams, Larazzo, Farmer, Pierce, Nance, Bolt, Coulter, Purdue, and Caldwell Jones. That's it. So, very successful video. Got a lot of nice cards. Got 2 very clean Jordans and 2 that are off center, but 2 really clean Michael Jordans look pretty centered to me to submit. So that's it, Judge 99 Sports Cards. We're out.